It's gonna be wild, man, wild.
Yeah.
What about that funky intro, huh?
Oh, bloody mother. Who wrote that?
Well, I designed and edited and put the whole ideas together and everything. You had some small contribution to that, didn't you?
Role. That last little flicker was mine, and all mine.
Yep.
But that's an intro for you. Is
It
it
is
not?
indeed.
Yes,
You've
yes.
been up studying late, I see, from the bags under your eyes.
Well, you can see I am a little stressed out, a little tired, and but I'm ready for a big show, and hopefully I'll be okay, man.
Okie dokie. What do we got on the show tonight?
We got a big show tonight. We have, of course, Sexpression. Okay, I'm sorry. And it's
We're on to it.
Quite an interesting segment. I haven't actually been told what it's about. But that is a surprise, and a surprise worthy of response. Responsibility from Joe.
Right.
And her very
What else have we
guest.
got coming up tonight?
We've got an intravenous interview with Lewis and what's it, you?
Spunk.
Is it Marg or Marg?
Marg, yep. Marg Barry.
Marg Barry.
Not Marge Simpson, as you were trying to say earlier on.
Sorry. Margot? No. Oh, well, we've also got Vegans for Christ. Jesus Christ, I tell ya.
Hey, cut that swearing out.
Jesus.
Watch yourself. Hey, come on, blasphemy.
Vegans for Christ. Yeah. And that's with Caroline, of course, and she's going to be talking about nothing.
Caroline's one supporter is in the crowd, as you can hear.
Yes, and Caroline, what support you give. We also have the Sport Show, another intravenous interview.
Sport Show.
Sport Show. We're going to be talking...
we're going to be talking, what, hair shaving, perhaps, in the Sport Show?
No. Oh, that might be a good idea for next week. Why do they put the tape around their heads in... what do they call that game? Football?
Football?
Yeah. So their foreheads don't split. Yeah. Well, that's a damn
The audience is onto it tonight.
Yeah. Doing well, guys.
What else have we got?
No, well, they're going to be talking.
I just
we're
blew the
special
levels
interview
then.
with
I just blew the levels and you realise.
Oh, yes.
People in the sound
You
room
have been warned
just
about
been
that.
going, oh my God. I don't want to say God. That's
No.
vegan. Yeah.
It's amazing we can say vegans for Christ, but we can't say Jesus Christ.
Really?
And Michael is going to be talking to a member of the National Film and Sound Archive, who have lots of, film and sound from the sporting...
Archives.
Call it a library, if you will. CDBeats. CDBeats.
Who's on that show?
CDBeats.
CDBeats,
We have myself, Justin. Oh, and this is Lewis, by the way. Hi, Lewis. And Zena, who is in the makeup room as we speak, and she's looking mighty fine.
She doesn't need long, does she, in that makeup room?
No, she doesn't.
Just quick powder and she's out.
She's out of there. A bit of Vaseline and some powder and shabam.
That's it.
She's in the frying pan.
Jackhammer.
Yeah, that foundation from many weeks ago is still caked on and cracking. But anyway, we also have...
Hey, you try very hard to achieve that look. So.
well, yeah, but what can you do?
What else have we got? We got Film Forum, haven't we?
We do have Film Forum. That's coming up much later in the show.
And who's on that? That's we had some trouble with this one last week, didn't we? Let's say the guy, the four-eyed guy.
Yeah. Erin.
Erin, that's the one.
Erin, love you, mate. Yeah, and but he'll also be on the week that was with Russell. Russ. And he's got some interesting stories, or they have some interesting stories to tell about what has been happening in the week. That was. Yeah, that's right. Hence the week that was. And we have another intravenous interview with Caroline, and
Caroline's getting a lot of work these days, isn't she?
Yeah, she's getting overtime as well.
Yeah, I heard that.
Contract specified 8 minutes per show.
Really?
She's heading up to the 16-minute mark. So yeah.
Did you hear about how many dates she got last week?
I did. It was very. And speaking of dates,
I think she's been going out eating all week with all these different people that have called up.
Yeah, she has been complaining about all that excess.
Oh, she hates the attention, Caroline. She just doesn't like it at all.
She doesn't like.
No, she's not one to go out there and
Oh,
draw attention to
Caroline!
herself.
Yeah, you're right about that. But we have a special announcement to make, which I forgot last week. You might remember.
Who's getting married? That's
Okay,
right.
well, that's what it comes down to. The person behind this camera right here, Mr. Luke and Meg, who is... Where is she? Oh, there she is on camera too, who you'll be seeing through her eyes later. They are getting married. Yeah. What a Barry.
Tying the knot.
Yes. Yes. Congratulations. Yeah. Yeah. I hope it lasts a real long time.
Have they exchanged rings or anything
No,
yet?
well, she's got a ring. He lost it down the toilet or something, apparently.
I heard he left it at his other girlfriend's house.
Oh, Chicky, no. No, it's okay.
He's not amused.
Not amused. You
Quick,
can
get
see
on
by
with
the
the show.
camera.
What
Okay,
else
right. Well...
Yeah, CDBeats, Film
CDBeats,
Forums.
Film Forum, Sexpression. Well, speaking Sexpression, we're up and ready to go with Sexpression, and we'd like them to. What's the word? What's the phrase?
I beg your
have
pardon.
Sex. No. I was actually just going to say commence with your sexual...
Initiate the interview.
Activities and prowesses, and take it away, baby. Yeah.
Hi, my name's Jo, and this is Sexpression. Tonight we're going to be talking about sex for people with a disability, and I've got my friend David in to talk about his disability. Hi David, how are you this evening?
Hi, I'm well, thanks. Good.
That's good. Just to set the record straight, no, David and I will not be having sex on this segment. However, we will be talking about sex. Before we do though, I'd like to say congratulations and a thank you to the 3 people who won the Safe Tats sex packs that we had on from our last segment with Safe Tattooing. And I'd like to say Paul from Newtown, Manny from Mortdale, and John from Dubbo. Hope you got your safe sex packs, you're enjoying your tattoos, your lube and your condom. Okay, David, how are you?
Yeah, good.
Still here with me?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Tell us, David, what is your disability?
Well, I have something called spina bifida, which is it's kind of like being born with damage to your spinal cord. And it means that wherever that damage occurs, the nerves don't work properly, so they don't send signals to the right parts of the body.
Right. So that affects your legs?
Yeah, my damage occurred low down on my spine, so it affects my legs, but it also affects organs in the local region. So quite typically with spina bifida you get people who are incontinent, which means that their bowels and their bladder don't work properly.
Right.
And, you know...
I guess that would be a struggle in itself. I mean, do you get the feeling that, you know, you need to go, or basically, do you get any kind of warning?
Well, yeah, like a 2-second warning,
right.
if it becomes dire. It's just up to being, just managing correctly, just having your eye on the clock, and
right.
Making sure you go at the right time and don't miss out.
Yeah.
Because it's a hassle.
Yeah, I can imagine it would be. Now, you've got some... what do you call your walking sticks? How do you call them?
I just call them crutches.
Yeah.
They're called elbow crutches, actually, technically, because they only come up to here. I sort of do that.
Yes, but when we raced for the car, I think you were in the lead, so you're quite mobile, though.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty swift.
Yeah, and you live self-sufficiently, and...
Yeah.
Great, okay. So, all right, so you have this physical disability that affects some organs and also the mobility or the use of your legs, the sensation.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So what does this mean for you as a sexual being?
Well, it means that I don't look terribly good in Speedos.
I wouldn't worry too much about that. I don't go for guys in Speedos.
Fair enough. Well, I guess the most obvious thing that we've mentioned before is that I have reduced sensation, so it feels less good if at all, sort of below my waist.
Right.
The incontinence creates a bit of a problem, obviously, I guess, because I don't have that thing working for me where if you're having an orgasm, you don't urinate. That rule doesn't work for me.
Yeah. For guys, when they get an erection, they actually there's a little valve that cuts off the urine tract, okay, because there's only one passage really for the urine and also the semen or the cum to actually come out of the penis. So what happens is when a guy gets an erection, it switches off the urinary tract so that you haven't got any urine coming out. For you, that doesn't happen all the time.
That doesn't happen, yeah. So if it's not to happen, and it doesn't if I'm empty, if I've been to the toilet. So there's a first issue. If you're in the middle of passion, excuse me, I've just got to go to the loo, you know, and somebody might be like ready and up for it, sort of thing, and I've got to go to the loo first, or...
Hey, well, there's all that anticipation, you know.
Sure.
Hopefully they'll just keep on going with that masturbation thing.
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, start without me.
Yeah, great, cool. Okay, so, all right, let's talk about the peenie, all right?
Okay.
Is that okay with you?
Sure.
All right. Penis functions, can you get an erection?
In my particular case, and you do have to kind of take it on a case-by-case basis with spina bifida and with lots of disabilities.
Sure.
I can get erections, but I'm not sensate,
Right.
which makes for an interesting mix, because it all looks right, works right.
Right.
It just doesn't feel like anything.
Right, so to you, yes, you can get an erect penis, but you don't necessarily feel it.
No.
Do you have to see it to know that you're erect? Have you got that lack of sensation?
No, I don't have to look at it to know that it's there with me, but I wouldn't have a clue where it's going.
Right.
So, you know, I have to be careful from that point of view.
Yeah, leave the light on.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
That helps. Condoms are a bit of a problem because I just don't know when they've gone.
Right.
And because of the sensation thing, actual genital penetration, it's not a real big deal for me. I don't mind if it happens or not.
Right, so you can actually have penetrative sex with somebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although my hips don't work too well, so it's generally I'm on the bottom.
Right.
That works.
Okay, well, hey, that works for lots of people. Cool. So, but I guess just having the pressure, like on your body, on your abdomen area, with somebody sitting on top of you, you'd feel that.
Sure.
That
And
gets you
because of where you are and what's happening and what you're doing, you can turn that into part of what you're feeling about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know lots of people are into sort of mild pain, for example, and so the weight of someone's body might be turned into an erotic feeling.
Sure. And for lots of people, penetration sex, and that means using the penis to put inside the vagina or the anus, penetration sex isn't the be-all and end-all. I think there are some statistics that state that about 30% of women actually achieve an orgasm from having penetration sex. So one would assume that whilst it's quite likely that the guy will get off by having penetration sex, the girl might not. So there are lots and lots of other things that you can do, and maybe that's something that we should talk about, because if you're not focusing on the penis, on the boy, you know, sex is huge. It encompasses a lot of things. So what other things do you do for sexual pleasure for your partner and for yourself?
Well, I guess in a nutshell, to characterise the style that I like the most, it's basically just endless foreplay, if you like. It's just starting, it's not particularly going anywhere, and then it ends later, sooner or later.
Yeah, you know, so for that excitement, because it takes about 15 minutes for a woman to actually get aroused, so that they're actually naturally lubricating themselves.
Sure.
So I can imagine that you would have had lots of very pleased and satisfied partners out there if foreplay is your thing.
Yeah, well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'd vote for that.
Okay. So okay, let me ask you this question. How do you negotiate sex with somebody who is not aware of what your disability is, and then, like, you know, they might be really hot for you and they don't know if you can do the sex thing. So how do you do that?
Well,
let me set the scene, okay? We've got we've got a smoky bar, we're having a few drinks, there's a chick on the other side of the bar and she's going, hey Dave, you're hot.
Okay. Well, the first thing I'd do is sort of stand up, get on my crutches, just make sure that she knows.
Right.
Okay. Because I mean, it is important sometimes. I've had people that change their tune, if you like, when they find out you have a disability. Now, mine's pretty obvious. I mean, you see me, I'm on crutches. I mean, you could probably photograph me from space, and you know, that's the guy. That's him.
Those little.
They're the crutches. Yeah, that's him.
Right.
So, if someone's still interested past that point, they've got a mind that is open.
Yeah, sure.
That's an advantage to me, because, you know, the big shock, if it's going to be one, will come with the incontinence. You know,
right.
Excuse me, you do what?
Okay.
You know.
So it's just about letting people know.
Yeah, and being
where you're at.
Yeah, and being totally comfortable with it, because I can't guarantee that something like interesting or calamitous might not happen.
Sure.
So it's just, if I'm cool about it,
yeah,
they can be cool about it, and if someone's not going to be cool about it, well, okay, but there's lots of reasons that you'd end up, you know, not feeling okay about wanting to go any further with somebody.
Sure. Which happens a lot. For a lot of people, sex, you know, can take in the foreplay, it can take in a bit of oral sex, and it can, you know, sort of expand to lots of different sexual activities.
Sure.
And sometimes they might not want it to include penetration, okay? So at any point you need to be able to say no, and what you're saying is that you're letting people know where you're at in terms of sex, so that there are no surprises, and that you are openly communicating, so that at any point, I guess, someone can say, oh no, I'm not comfortable with that.
Sure, sure. It's also for me to let other people know that, you know, once we get going, if you like, the fact of the disability sort of fades, becomes unimportant, because it, you know, at certain points it just doesn't matter that my legs don't work properly, because that's not what I'm using, or that's not what I'm doing. And the importance sort of comes in and out of it. So yeah, it's just a matter of preparing the ground and just letting people know that they don't have to freak out about it. It's cool, you know.
Right. So for people who tend to have a loss of sensory to different parts of their body, I've heard that other parts of their body become far more sensitive. Has that happened with you?
Yeah.
Come on, Dave. Tell us what gets your spot. Where is your spot?
Well, if you head in the direction of my armpits and my neck, I'm likely to cut loose pretty badly.
Right.
It's nice.
Armpits and neck.
Yeah.
Yep. I have to agree.
Lots of oral
Very
contact.
cute.
Yeah. It's kind of nice.
Okay, so, all right, so what would you like to say to somebody with a disability, or somebody who's interested in a person with a disability? What would you say to them to encourage them to, I guess, experience or experiment with their sexuality?
Okay. I think the most important thing is to remember that because there is something for you that's obvious and there that someone might want to talk about, that's actually an advantage, because today, with people exploring different sexualities, with the AIDS virus being around, talking about it beforehand is, I think, a really important thing to do. And it doesn't really matter what the conversation ends up being about. I like this, and by the way, I might actually wee on you at some stage.
Right.
It doesn't have to get any more complicated than that. It's more a matter of becoming comfortable enough with yourself to say things like that. And if you can, you're there, I think.
I think that's great, because you obviously seem very comfortable with yourself.
Oh yeah. Well, it's either that or not, and you know the alternative's pretty rough, really, like it is for anyone. Yeah,
I think for a lot of young people, they experience that, you know, feeling uncomfortable about their body image, who they're going out with, what they're expected to do. So really, I mean, the idea is that you feel comfortable about who you are, and you know, whatever that is, from head to toe. Sex is about feeling comfortable with yourself and exploring your sexuality, so it's great. you have a disability, sex is good. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I've got a little bit of information so that if anyone would like to contact, have any education information, they can contact Family Planning New South Wales, Sexuality and Human Rights Training Service, and the phone number is there, 9716 6099. If you have any questions regarding sexuality stuff for people who have a disability, then contact them at Family Planning and they'll be happy to help you out with any questions you have, training or education. Okay, what I'd like to move along to quickly now is the part of the show called Sexperts, and this is when you actually write in, give me a question and I answer it on air. This evening we have a question which is, what is masturbation and where should I do it? And I think this is a really great question because as a sexual health educator I go into schools and this question comes up quite a lot because for masturbation it's something that, you know, you're told is dirty and you shouldn't be doing it, but I'm here to say different, okay? So masturbation is about touching yourself and achieving some kind of pleasure in a sexual way. This can be, for girls, it can be touching their breasts or their genital areas, playing with their clitoris, just getting to know their body and getting to know how it feels like when it's stimulated. And for guys, it, you know, it might include wanking and, you know, just playing with themselves as well. Totally normal, totally natural thing to do. Some people don't do it, and that's really cool as well. But it's really important when you're exploring your body that you find a safe place to do it, and at home is a good place, in your bedroom, in the bathroom, somewhere that's safe, that you can have a bit of privacy and you can enjoy yourself. So I think it's really important for those people who want to know about masturbation. That's what it is, and I say check it out. Okay, just to finish up this evening, if you would like to write into Sexperts and have your questions answered on air by myself, Joe, or Dermot, my colleague who's travelling through Nepal at the moment. We'll be back hopefully next segment. Just write to the address there on the screen. And for the first 5 people that write to me and give me a question, I'm actually going to send them a safe sex pack, okay? And this safe sex pack includes some good educational information as well as a dam, a condom, some lube and a glove for the finger sex. So if you want one of those, please write in to a question for Sexperts and we'll catch you next segment. Thank you, David, for coming along.
Thank you.
See ya.
Hi, welcome to Wisdom Chambers Youth Review, and we talk about everything on this show. Forbidden fruits. It's filled with intense and raw energy. Now, if you want to call us and win those prizes, I know you want to, give us a call on 96982968 or check out our website, you internet freaks, and the website is www.aus.com.au/WCYR. Yeah. Or you can use the old school way. I do believe people are still writing these days. And the postal address for that is P.O. Box B01, McKell Building, 55 Walker Street, Redfern, 2016. Yeah. So, get connected, make the connection, make it real. You can even come and hang out in the audience and see it for real. And that's it. Wisdom Chambers Youth Review. And next we have Lewis and Marge. Bye.
Thank you very much. And tonight we're speaking with Marg, not Marge.
No, not Marge. Not Marge.
And she's talking about some important stuff that's happening to do with public housing. Firstly, there are, as I understand it, ideas that the government is going to sell off public housing. What's wrong with that, Marg? I mean, it would raise a lot of money. Why not sell off public housing?
Well, probably fine. I'm not sure sort of how you'd go. Lewis. I think you might be right out in your little little pink ear, you and your mum. And I think sort of around here in Redfern and Waterloo, where there are just on 4,200 housing department dwellings, double that sort of for the number of people in 2 suburbs, it'd be pretty difficult. But the area is in the inner city. The land prices around here are certainly inflating, and it could very well be that the lists, well, I know the lists for sale are being drawn up, and we've certainly got blocks of units in West Kensington, that's not too far away, where people are being asked to get ready to vacate by May itself, and May, this is March, the end of March, not too far along the line, and then those units will be sold. Now they've been affordable housing units, but by the same token, with a waiting list of 100,000 families in New South Wales, then they could be used. But in these areas, something like 95% of the families are on pensions and benefits, rebated rents, pensions and benefits. But the land price is inflating, and yes, the department is preparing lists.
So we've got an increased amount of people needing public housing.
Well, that's very true. I think sort of the way Canberra runs these days, and paying off the foreign debt rather than looking after people. Canberra collects the taxes. Canberra distributes back to the states, but it's the states that actually have all the soft portfolios. They run the hospitals, the health systems, the housing, they run the education system, and and they depend on getting their money back to do that from the collecting agency, which is in Canberra.
So by soft you mean?
I mean the human portfolios. It's not like building roads or public works, building bridges and things. These are the things that are about people, the things that most affect people. And what we're doing in collecting no new taxes, no new taxes, but we'll cut the budgets. The budgets they cut are the soft portfolios, and they make it harder and harder. And I think we've had a Premier's conference today, haven't we? And Bob Carr's been in there, and he's the only Labor Premier left. So what we've got happening in Victoria and in Queensland is very much following that line of, well, let's make it work, let's sell off the public housing.
So why not sell off the houses in the inner city? I mean, would they be replaced by ones out west or further out, perhaps?
They may very well. Costs rise, but if you want to go out in the never, and I sort of think you might very well be replacing housing on the South Australian border, somewhere close to Roxby Downs. But and if that's what people want, maybe we'll be filling up all those towns that are emptying in our countryside. But we certainly know that in the inner city, the pensioners block just under the Harbour Bridge on this side of the harbour, and the Greenway Flats on the northern side, which you can see from the bridge as you go over it. They've got old people in them too. They've grown old in those places, but they would bring a huge price, and those places are certainly on the lists to go. But what you've also got sort of with the way the federal government is moving, you'll be looking at raising the rents. They're already talking now of putting rents up by another quarter, from 20% of income to 25% of income. You'll see the waiting lists reduced, so anyone who's only just got an income problem will never, will be on the never in terms of getting anything. And they're also talking about making it a revolving door, so people don't depend on the welfare and the house all their days.
Revolving door? What do you mean by that?
Well, you'll be looked at and assessed, and you could get a roof for 3 years, but you don't get a second term at that.
So
at the end of 3
years,
years,
you've got to be able to support yourself and perhaps your kids. And
these are the schemes that they're looking at. And there are 4,200 families in this area. there are 22,000 dwellings in just this region. This area alone, Redfern and Waterloo, this area, and that's not Surrey Hills, which is just sitting across Cleveland Street, represents 4% of the total stock, housing department stock in New South Wales. Yeah, 4%. So I guess what I'm sort of saying is there's the housing ministers from the states and territories are meeting on Friday week. They're meeting in the Government Macquarie Tower, that, you know, lovely spanking building with the arched, that extraordinary vaulted roof, and Governor Macquarie in copper sitting on a great plinth that you look up to, and with
Are they
wonderful lighting.
planning on selling that off to make a bit of money?
Oh,
to
good
help
God,
the
you've got to,
finance?
you know, the Mandarins have to have sort of somewhere beautiful to live in, and beautiful views out over Sydney, and they are beautiful views. But the housing ministers will be meeting there on Friday week, and on the 40th floor, we gather. Even our local member can't extract that information from her premier, but we've got it. And so, yes, there'll be a big demonstration at half past 12 in the foyer or just outside, and we're asking people to bring cardboard boxes and to bed down in the cardboard boxes. Can you imagine? Can you imagine sort of what a riot that will be, as all those lovely public servants in their nice suits and their valise cases trot backwards and forwards in the lunch hour, sort of in the government's main building in town.
How many people do you expect to turn out for that?
Well, I don't know. There'll be a whole series of buses and things going from these areas, but I expect you could, you know, even 50 people in that foyer with their boxes will look like a crowd. And if the media homes in, just like these cameras here, it's amazing. It's amazing the stories and the lies that a camera can tell. But I think that the people behind the cameras will be on the side of the people who will be demonstrating.
Yeah, I guess the problem also is that a lot of the people that are disadvantaged, or not disadvantaged, being kicked out of their homes, aren't necessarily able to come down and protest on behalf of themselves.
Look, mate, if it was my home, I'd be getting myself there. I would not be sitting back and letting George do it.
Yeah.
If it was my home, I'd give it a go.
But what I'm saying is that a lot of people that are living in these houses are there because they have disabilities and things that prevent them from being able to...
There's buses going, there's phone numbers to ring up, there'll be cars going. People should make sure they get there.
What date is this?
It is Friday the 27th. That's next week. Next Friday, it's at 12:30 in the Governor Macquarie Tower, in the foyer and just outside. There will be buses going from these areas.
So people can get a bus from where?
Oh, well, just follow the notes that'll be coming out in leaflets in people's letterboxes.
Right.
There'll be pick-up points, there'll be basically community transport buses, council buses and so on. And if you want some fun, there's Julie McCrossan and probably Mikey Robbins and a number of those people down there sort of leading the band and addressing the crowds.
Oh, well, good stuff. It sounds like a thing that everyone, especially from around this area, should get involved with, and even from even further out, because it's public housing. It affects everyone. So
well, it
effort,
certainly was one way of actually spreading, making accessible and spreading the wealth by being able to provide housing for people with lesser incomes and a bit more disadvantaged. But we're sort of seeing what's happening is the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer, and the safety net being withdrawn.
So is the government suggesting any solutions to the houses that are going to be lost, other than just putting them out west or building new places out west? That doesn't really solve the problem.
They're trying like mad to maintain their stock, to increase their stock, but if the funds don't come through, there's enormous redundancies going on at the moment within the department. Regions are being collapsed. People around here will know that your local program officers from the local offices, your local community service officers, are getting lesser and lesser. That's the people, they've got more and more places to look after. And it's like a rotating, it's like a revolving door with them. There are constantly new people coming on as others are going off, with less skills, less training, and less ability to relate to their tenants. They're trying, but if the money turns off, yeah, well, that could be it.
Well, is it true that they've already sold off Everleigh Street and all those houses down there, that the block as they call it? Is that
no, well, no, I don't
related
think
to-
so. You probably don't realise that that is the only piece of land to which Aborigines and Koreans actually have their own Torrens title. It is the first and the only. I don't think it'll be sold off, but certainly there's a number of splits in that community, and what is being looked at is to reduce the number of houses and to put in a cultural centre and so on. But it's still a very, very fractured community and fractured point of view down there on the block.
Right, so rumours that I've heard about there being a high-rise complex being put on there and everyone moved out.
It's still Koori land, and they will be able to do with it what they want. But in the past, there's been a lot of efforts from a lot of others that have wanted that land, and particularly TNT across the way in the TNT towers just above or just alongside Redfern Station. And they have not wanted the block and its residents there.
Well, they had cameras up there at one stage as well, didn't they?
They've also had snipers on the top of the towers, yes.
Oh, right. Well, all right. On that point, quickly again, with the rallies happening at the
Governor Macquarie Towers,
Yeah,
the state government's state office block, Friday the 27th, next Friday, 12:30 p.m. in the lunch hour, and yeah, it'll be on for young and old, and there'll be entertainment for young and old. Get yourself there.
Great.
Be there.
Marg, thank you very much.
No, look, Kerry, I'm not interested. Listen, Paco, I'm happy here at CTV. I'm happy. No, I'm happy here. Yeah, I don't care. Bye. Sorry, just taking care of some business. I'm here to tell you what's coming up. I'm here to basically tell you not to go away as well. Because what is coming up, we've got Vegans for Christ, just seconds away actually. It's very very tense in here at the moment. The crowd always looks forward to it. The sports show with Michael Wisema, and he's doing an interview this week, so that should be enormous. CDBeats with Zena and Justin, they'll be doing a thing. I've got one of the albums just here. I think they're going to review. I'm not going to say anything about it. Don't worry, it's all right. I'm not like that. Then the week that was. Stay tuned for that. It's always a good show. It stops traffic. That's what I've been told to. That's what Erin told me to say. Anyway, there's an interview. Caroline's back again. Caroline, she's, as we said earlier, she's increased her minutes from 8 to 16, and she's interviewing Nicole. And Film Forum is going to be. That's going to finish us off, is it today, with Erin? So that's if he turns up. Oh no, he's here already. Oh, he's here already. He's been here for a couple of hours apparently. He's just out the back in the CTV1 gymnasium doing a few push-ups, and he'll be coming up pretty soon. But coming up right now is Caroline with Vegans for Christ. Thank you.
I'm Caroline Zilinsky, and this is Vegans for Christ. And before I begin my very important and always important segment, I would just like to reiterate the last comments made. Even if you're not in Housing Commission, you know, I think you should get down to that rally and be protesting perhaps even more than people in government housing. It's no longer Housing Commission. Because if all the Housing Commission is lost, you nice cushy millionaires sitting in Point Piper better watch out when you have 40,000 homeless people bashing at your door for equal distribution of wealth. So, you know, I mean, Housing Commission already is in a devastating crisis. You've got, you know, Mount Druitt full of, like, you know, the whole suburbs full of just, like, basically holes in the ground for people to live in. And even in Redfern, it's so... it's such a, like, the high-rise buildings are so high and there's such a density of population, you know, so it's not even you know, there's not that much housing already. And so, you know, just wait till you people in Double B have 1 million people tearing your house down. Viva la revolution. Anyway, back to more lighter topics. Yes, anyway, today I'm going to be talking about fashion. No, only joking. I had a very... Well, I'm not... Well, who cares? Anyway, what happened was today my friend was going to the hairdresser and she's got a few problems, and I just thought I'd go and give her moral support, and she's had long hair for the whole of her life. Well, it's never been that good, but it's been long. And Sasha, I've just smudged all my lipstick. Anyway, and then what happened was, I walked in just as she'd had all her hair chopped off, and it looked abominable. Like, it just looked revolting. Sorry, Sasha, if you ever see this. And then what happened was, and then she just went, oh, I needed a change, whatever. And, like, she was quite rude to the hairdresser, but, you know, that's to be expected of Sasha. And then they said, okay, we're going to put a few streaks through your natural colour. And what they did was they, you know, she was there for ages. I went and I got lollies or something, came back an hour later. She was still with this, like, contraption on her head. And when they took it off, her hair was, she had brown hair before. It was from white to orange. No, from white to about fluorescent yellow. And she just went, there were, you know, other people. This was a pretty upmarket hairdresser, and, you know, there were other people sitting around getting their hair done, you know, the blasé sort of thing. And she just went, oh my God, what an abomination. How did you get your hairdresser's license? And she practically started, except, you know, she wasn't as humorous as that. She was just blatantly rude. And the woman who was actually doing her hair just sort of went, and just her face went all red, and she started trembling, and I think she actually cut herself a bit, but it was really devastating. And then the last half hour, I had to leave to come to see TV. She'd been there from 1:45 up until 6:15, and she basically, what's it called? Yeah, so she was getting her hair, like, okay, for the last half hour that I was there, she was sitting like this. And the only time she'd raise her head was to say, I don't understand how you're a practicing hairdresser. How do you excuse this? And, like, she was very rude. And I started to have, you know, I got a bit embarrassed about being there because I didn't want to be associated with such a rude bitch. And she was, you know, the hairdresser nearly started crying, and as one would with this girl at your throat. And her mother's also a lawyer, so there may be something there. And anyway, I left and I started thinking, well, you know, she's going to have to pay $200 for this hideous whatever it is on her head. And it just made me begin to think, why do people do this? Like, you know, people go to the hairdressers, people will spend, you know, we have a makeup artist here, thank God, but we don't have to pay for it. Well, someone must. But anyway, you know, like, people spend so much money and time on their appearance, and, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm all for superficial images because, you know, the human race is basically taken on face value, and, you know, peacocks feather themselves up before the mating season, and why shouldn't we? However, the extent to which we take it is rather ridiculous. You've got people starving themselves, and anorexia, bulimia, and, you know, you've got, like, City Gym makes, you know, more money than Berkeley Books does, and you've just got to begin to think, like, what are people doing with themselves, and why are people so afraid to tackle their own problems themselves? Why do they always have to go to other places to do this? And, for example, you know, I do my own hair. My friend Justin Malinowski does his own hair. And you may not like it, but we do. And, you know, there are plenty of people. Doing your own hair is a perfect option. You've lived with your face for however long you've been alive. You see it every day in the mirror. You know its shape. You know its faults. You know if you have a huge wart here, you don't want to have a shaved hair on this side. And, like, hairdressers, also, this may be generalizing, but the majority of the population is very stupid. And sometimes hairdressers can be a little less careful about what they're doing to other people because it's not themselves. And, you know, I mean, taking Sasha, for example, I'm sure she walked in and was rude, and that now they've ruined her life and literally have ruined her life. They hold your life in their hands. They have the power to destroy you, and you've got to be aware of that. And if you want to allow someone to destroy your life, then, you know, pay a lot of money for it. But, you know, take into consideration the fact that you can buy hair dyes at home, you can follow packet instructions, and, you know, you basically, this isn't just about, you know, do a home job, mate. It's about, you know, be your own boss, you know, guide yourself, do what you want to do. Like, you know, if you, a hairdresser doesn't necessarily do a good job. Perhaps if you want streaking or something professional, but if you just want a general change, there's nothing wrong with doing it yourself. And it's not about, you know, placing heaps of importance in your own appearance, but it's, you know, making yourself look as good as you can simply because, you know, it's a sign of, you know, self-respect or, you know, a general appreciation of your own existence. You know, you're given an image, well, you're given a body, it, you know, it's like you're given a house. You don't let it run to ruin. You know, you put a bed in it, you know, so, you know, you've just got to, maintenance, it's just like car maintenance, it's body maintenance, but you don't have to be paying a fortune to have your life ruined when you could be doing it yourself. And that's an important thing to remember. With makeup and things like that, you know, they've done tests, the you know, really good products, they, you know, they're not as good as no frills. And just because no frills smells like methylated spirits and, you know, comes out in clumps, doesn't mean it's bad quality. You've just got to be assertive and begin to look at your life on a different level where you are your own boss and where you actually are taking control of yourself. Otherwise, you're just going to be in a lot of trouble. Haircuts you can do yourself. All you need is a mirror and scissors. Not even that. You can tear out chunks. It's all a matter of just, you know, just this girl changed my life. I never want to go to a hairdresser again. I never did go to a hairdresser to begin with, but this has reiterated that fact. And yeah, basically I think it's very important that everyone realizes they can do what they want and they don't have to follow images and trends that are actually set for them in different areas, such as, you know, you have magazines and you have things like that, and sure, everyone wants to look like that, and you can. But it's going to cost you a lot of money in cosmetic surgery, and perhaps, you know, what you're born with isn't that bad. And even if it is, most people don't care. Actually, everyone cares, but that's not the point. You've just got to live with the fact that you're ugly, and you've got to just do the best you can. We all try, and so must you. Well, anyway, to the ugly and destitute out there, I say die. And to the beautiful, come to CTV at P.O. Box. Write to us and send us a photo. At P.O. Box BO1 Deodorant, Mikkel Building, 55 Walker Street, Redfern, New South Wales 2016. And if you didn't get that, someone else will hold it up later on. Thank you very much. Bye.
Yes, it is true. Caroline and I, we do our own hair, and you can too. But Caroline, I ask you, why don't you show us your crown of glory, please? No, she's not going to do it. She's not going to do it. I don't know. A little embarrassed perhaps, but also another thing you can do by yourself is plastic surgery. I had a little trouble this week, a few little mistakes with the old scalpel, but I did use the proper anesthetic solution, methylated spirits, and it was wonders, man, wonders. If you're looking for something to do, if you're looking, I don't know, maybe want to get some dreadlocks or something hippie like that, excuse the term, head down to the national, or head up to the National Folk Festival for '98, and that's going to be marvellous. That's going to be up in Queensland and down in Canberra, with lots of hippies running about naked and didgeridoos and clapsticks and people clapping and singing and dancing and racing around, running around. Being folky, really. I'm not really into that sort of stuff, so I've got an alternative for you, a 10-day celebration of a trip-hop, which is called Urban Expression, and that's happening all over Sydney as we speak, and many parties and things coming up, which Zena, my good friend Zena, is going to be talking about later. Are you, Zena? You included some trip-hop culture No? No? Yeah, that's right. That's bloody right. What else? Yep. I have a little problem with the bus drivers today. I had to get to a very special appointment today, and I couldn't because the buses weren't on. Hey, what have they got a problem with this time? Is it money? Anyone know? What are they striking? Yes, Zena? You don't know?
Bus lanes in the city.
What's wrong with the bus lines in the city? They're great. Okay, they're replacing them with trams and monorails. But that's fine. No one likes the trams and monorails. They'll be gone. And why do all the trams go to the casino? They don't get anywhere else. I mean, send them somewhere interesting, like, I don't know, the casino, yeah. Fish markets. I mean, what a wonderful place to take the family, you know. Go and pick up some octopus, some scallops, some mussels. I don't know, but the snake blood. Yeah, and that's exactly what I have to say. But seriously speaking, why don't these so-called strikers, you know, have their strike but make it free transportation for the day, so they don't put everyone out, making everyone angry with them, not the government or whoever employs the state transit authority, but I am angry with you, the driver. Just kidding. It's all the government's fault. It's all a conspiracy. Conspiracy theory. And now we have another conspiracy, Michael. He's in it. He's in the know. He knows it all. And he's laughing behind our backs. And he's going to be talking about the National Film and Sound Archive with a very special guest. So please, Michael and the Sports Show, please give them a big round of applause.
Tonight we've got a guest on. Her name's Cornel Platzer from the National Film and Sound Archive. She's the manager of the Sydney office, and we're going to ask some questions on sport and that. And first up, we're going to go to a few quick videos. So hope you enjoy them, and then we'll get back to the questions. So enjoy the videos they're going to put up for you now.
Sport and leisure had become part of the female culture. Contestants in an early Miss Australia pageant modelled acceptable swimwear and tennis gear. Both were now a fixed part of every modern woman's wardrobe because they were functional and attractive. Swimsuits began to make regular appearances at city beaches. Here at Kenny's Baths in St Kilda, Melbourne, bathing was a social pastime that almost any woman could enjoy. The barriers kept falling. Life-saving was one. Bondi opened its club to women in 1926, and huge crowds crammed the beach for a glimpse. Newsreel producers made light of the achievement, and it would be 54 years until women would become recognised lifesavers. They may not have been allowed to save anybody from drowning, but these women proved in practice they could do as good a job in the Bondi surf as the men.
If it's different.
That video you just saw was called The Game Is Up on women's sport. Could you please give us some information about that video, first off?
Yeah, that's, I thought that video would really highlight how far women have come, in particular in sport in Australia. I think that one of the things that we saw there was the type of costumes that women wore, and they really were that. Very heavy garments, also in swimming and so on. They were encumbered by wearing very thick clothing, and this, for many years, this sort of prevented women from fully participating in active sports. And at the turn of the century and in the early 1900s, there was a very strong belief that women shouldn't sweat, and if you don't do anything, you don't sweat. So that sort of, I think, highlights how women were perceived as ornaments of rather than actual living, breathing human beings.
Could you please give us some information on what the National Film and Sound Archive do? I know they've been around since 1984.
Yeah.
Could you please go into a bit of detail about that, please?
The archive was set up in, as you said, 84. It's a government-funded body, and it's a repository of Australia's cultural, moving image and audio heritage. And we have about almost 1 million items in the archive, which are accessible to the general public through coming in and viewing videotapes, or coming in and listening to early sound recordings, actually right up to the contemporary day. So one of the earliest films that we have in the collection is the 1896 Melbourne Cup race, and I think it's sort of significant that this country, which has such an affinity for sport, its first moving image was recorded as the Melbourne Cup, the event for which the nation stops. So,
On every Tuesday, first Tuesday in November, I think. What films and videos do you have in the archive related to sport?
Sport. Okay, well, one of the really major parts of the collection is the 1956 Olympic footage. Of course, that was held in Melbourne, and so there's masses of home movies and professional films that record the opening ceremony and the events that led up, the events of the Olympics. We, I think in '56 we saw the people like Dawn Fraser and Marjorie Jackson really come into prominence as being top-class athletes in Australia, and it's something that we're obviously very proud of. And as we're now going into hosting the Olympics in 2000, many filmmakers and researchers, historians are going to be accessing that collection to reflect on how the times have changed to the present day.
Yeah, it will be very important in the next couple of years with the Olympics and so on, in the years ahead, that people can access this material and use it. How do you choose what is worth keeping for the future use, and how do you keep it from deteriorating?
Right. Well, in some ways, history's made some of the choices. For instance, Australia's early moving image was recorded on very volatile cellulose nitrate stock, and that stock deteriorates quite badly. It stopped being produced in 1950, and so really in some of the Australia's early silent era, only 10% survived. And if we now find anything, it's an absolute, it's a miracle, and we really celebrate the rare finds. But going up to the contemporary era, obviously there are programs like, like sporting programs that air every week. We couldn't possibly choose and preserve every single one of those programs, so we go for the main ones. We go for really significant events, and perhaps if Australia is, for instance, with the soccer, if we're leading up into a world event, then that's obviously a game that we'd like to have in the archive.
Where does the archive get its material from, and how can people get, like, if they've got home movies or whatever, how can they get their stuff into the archive if it's worth keeping?
Right. Well, we get contacted by many people who are in the industry, predominantly the television stations, the film laboratories. There's lots of private collectors out in the community. We've got people who are absolute fanatics about transportation footage or train footage, or people who've documented the changing landscape of a city, for instance. One of the older collectors that we're dealing with at the moment, he's well into his 80s and has literally hundreds of thousands, sorry, not hundreds of thousands, thousands of reels of film in his home that he and his partner shot themselves as Sydney was being demolished over the years. So I think that's something that's very worth preserving, and people just need to contact us and we can assess the footage and determine what we already hold in the collection and then work out whether or not we can include it and what we can do to save it.
With technology going the way it is, where do you see like the archive in say 10 or 20 years, like with digital high definition TV, and where do you see
that's a really interesting question, and the Film and Sound Archive is part of a global community of archives, and there is an enormous amount of traffic on the internet as archivists all over the world, predominantly North American and European, are discussing what is the best method of preserving material and how each, as technology improves, how we migrate that image and that audio content to the next carrier. And I think one of the problems that we're facing is that it's damn expensive to buy the equipment to keep up with the race of technology. And but I think we just all got to work on that together. And as I said, the internet and communication these days means that we're in contact with people who are doing different types of research all around the world.
Like if people are concerned about film, how can they get involved or help the archive to try and raise some funds?
Oh, for fundraising. Okay. Well, there's two aspects. We do have volunteers who work with us on projects that, depending on what sort of time people have got to commit to the archive. But we really value that sort of contribution. There's a lot of people who are retired, who worked in the film industry, who can help us. There's other ways that, obviously our budget isn't huge. We're competing for the dollars along with other arts organisations, and we were listening before about community housing. There's all the demands on money. But if people want to, a very small way of helping the archive is to become what we call a Kookaburra card member, and through the generosity of people like Hoyts and Village Roadshow, Hoyts Village Roadshow and Greater Union, Birch Carroll and Coyle, they will, if you become a member of the Kookaburra card, the major cinema chains will give you a discount entry into the pictures. And we find that a lot of people save a lot of money through that, but also like to know that they're helping the archive in preserving our heritage. So it's a good way of doing it.
That's very important. You also get a newsletter sent to you.
Yep, you get a newsletter. We tell you what's happening in the archive. We have lots of exhibitions and preview screenings. We recently, unfortunately this was in Canberra, but we recently put on a rock concert in Canberra with the Mentals As Anything and the former members of Daddy Cool and the other name's forgotten. I've forgotten what the other band was. But this was held a couple of weekends ago in Canberra and was really successful. And we also have exhibitions on, like The Real Wild Child, which is a history of rock and roll in Australia. So we try and keep the attractions
mixed,
sort of dynamic and mixed and of interest.
You've got some videos, as I noticed, could you, related to sport or whatever?
Yes, I just realised. I feel like a bit of a fraud because I'm not actually a terribly sporting person, so
doesn't matter.
I can't talk truly knowledgeably about this. Yeah, but getting back to the sort of tape, the footage that's in the collection, we wanted to get back out to people, and the tape that I've got here, which is called VFL on Film, and it's footage from 1909 to 1945, and that the tape is documents all the surviving footage of VFL in Victoria, obviously, and it's had a phenomenal it's had a phenomenal success in Victoria. We need to do something like that for New South Wales, but we'll get around to it.
Maybe a rugby league video. Or
that's right. Like that. Yeah, we need to have someone with passion about that to work on footage in the collection and put that together. But the other tape that I think we're going to end on today is from Sun, Surf and Sand, and this is very much a tape which reflects Australia's affinity with the water. We really pioneered the life-saving associations, and it's interesting, I looked at this tape today and there's quite a bit of footage on it from when the royals would visit. One of the first things we'd do is trot them down to the beach, and they'd have to sit there and watch these surf life-saving carnivals, and this tape documents one of those events in 1954 with Queen Elizabeth and the Duke of Edinburgh looking terribly, terribly excited by it all. But I think that just sort of goes on to show that we are very much an outdoor people. Obviously, our beaches are part of our culture, and they're part of the way that we like to live our life. So yeah.
Yep. We're going to actually end it there, but I'd just like to, if people want to get in contact, the address is 84 Alexandra Street, Crow's Nest, New South Wales, 2065, and the telephone number is 9438 1477.
Yep.
If you want to get in contact for any reason to maybe get some film into the archive or support them through the Kookaburra card, please feel free to give them a call. And we're going to end up on a video tonight. It's called Sun, Sand and Surf, 40 years of Australian beach culture. And I'd just like to thank Cornel Platzer for coming in tonight, and I wish the archive all the best in its future, and thanks for coming in, Cornel.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks for your support.
The newest surf riding craze, Malibu boards, looks like having a bumper year. They're so light that even youngsters of 10 and 12 can handle them. They're 9 feet long and made of balsa wood or foam plastic, covered with several coats of fiberglass. The boards were introduced to Australia about 6 years ago, but this will be their biggest summer. They come in 3 shapes: pig, which is wide at the tail, tapering towards the nose; sausage, which is parallel-sided with a round nose; and speed, which is longer and narrower. They're a lot smaller than the huge 16-footers which were popular a few years ago, but they're manageable even in the biggest surf. Well, most of the time anyway. Even young riders can attain great speeds by cornering or cutting, riding across the direction of travel of the wave. They can stop suddenly too, but an occasional spill only adds to the challenge. And though some may topple into the surf, others sweep in almost to the beach. The Malibu riders have their own language. Hot dogging means changing direction on a wave as you race inshore. Walking the board means changing positions on the board to increase or reduce speed. The traffic's a bit thick out there, but he dodges his way through and heads for the beach. There are plenty of spills, but there are plenty of thrills. And that's why on Australia's beaches, this is going to be the year of the Malibu.
Hey, what's C-3PO doing here? This isn't Star Wars. Alright, so you're sitting at home, you're watching the show, you're going, hey, this is pretty damn groovy, and that guy that's talking to me right now is pretty damn hot. I want to give him a call. That's what you're thinking, isn't it? Huh? Or Zena. You're thinking Zena. Yeah, maybe the two of them together would be a good combo. Well, why don't you give us a call? Maybe you don't like the show. Maybe you just want to ring us up and criticise. Go for it. We're all ears. Why don't you give us a call on 9698 2968. And bag us out. Go on. I know you're thinking, it's bodgy, it's no good, I could do better, you know, or there's room for improvement at least. Give us a call, let us know. Maybe we'll take it on board. Alternatively, you could volunteer to archive some videos, I guess, or get on the internet and join in archiving internet chat. Or you could give us a call, or write a letter even better still, mate, at P.O. Box B01, McKell Building, 55 Walker Street. That name and street number and number again. Go on, give us a call. Coming up now, we got CDBeats. I can't do it as well as they can.
Hello, and welcome.
Hello.
to CDBeats. CDBeats. CDBeats.
D.
They are very seedy.
Beats.
Seedy and decrepit. Yes.
It's only because we're pretty seedy, and
are
there
pretty
is no
seedy.
beats. You never get to hear anything.
You never get to hear no beats. We
Copyright.
want some beats.
Red tape.
Yeah, red tape. Yeah, I like that. I like that red tape. Like caller ID, for example. Have you heard about caller ID?
This is like having some sort of obscene thing in front of my
Caller
mouth.
ID, where you get to actually see who's calling you. It comes
Sorry,
up
what are you
on
talking
the-
about?
What? I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong show here. CDBeats. Yes.
Jocelyn?
Yeah.
In the newspaper today, I was reading about
Yeah.
this woman in like Perth. Her name is Jodie Fricker,
Jodie Foster.
or Fricker,
Mm.
who seduced one of her pupils. She was a drama
yes.
school teacher, and she was she's like 30 or something.
30 or something, and as big as a carpet.
And the boy was 16, and what
Lucky
happened?
boy,
She got off 3 years probation.
What happened to the boy?
Well, what he said was, can I say this? Can I quote from the newspaper? This is fantastic.
Sorry.
If it was the other way around, it's sexual discrimination, because otherwise, you know, if it was the other way around, the guy would have gone to jail for 1,000 years and everyone would be yelling out, "Blue murder" or something. She was on top of me and we had sex like that. She lay on her back and we had sex like that, he told the court. Now, I've got the exact thing for this woman.
Yep.
Because she needs to repent, right? The church.
Yes. Love the church.
Yep, the church. Australian band. That's all I seem to do. You know, because I want to support the scene. But I only seem to be doing really old things like in the 80s.
Well, that's fine. I think it's great how we're sort of going on to we're basically retro.
Sponsor us and we'll do something
No,
relevant.
sponsor us.
Anyway, the church, they brought to Sydney in the early 80s the new wave psychedelic era, mate. Yeah.
New wave, yep.
New wave. And
New wave.
can I have that
Sure, mate.
back? With what's his name? Steve Kilby, who you know,
He's got a very similar voice to
Yes.
Mr. Morrissey.
Yeah,
No, more
yes.
so.
No, there is a bit of Morrissey in there.
Yeah, I was thinking more the guy off Depeche Mode. What's his
Somewhere
name?
Mr. Depeche Mode himself.
Yeah. Thank you.
Dave Gahan.
Dave
We're the
Gahan.
music show. We should know. We know.
Dave who? Dave.
Yeah, that was going to
Dave
be our
Gahan.
competition, and they were going to win
Exactly.
$1,000.
Oh,
You ruined it.
yeah, thanks, guys. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
It's their
Jesus
fault.
Christ. Well, we'll have to make up another question for later.
Yeah. Anyway,
Think I've got one.
Steve Kilby. What about him? Well, you know, very dry voice.
Dry.
And just doesn't have that sunny optimism like a lot of the 80 bands did.
Oh.
Or didn't. Anyway, okay, this is the church hindsight for 1980 to 87, and can I just let you know something very big? They made it to the top 100 of the best of Australian music in the Rolling Stones. So it means something. Don't say, she's always doing 80s music like the Sunny Boys and, you know, I'm doing something that matters. I'm getting back to the root of things.
The root.
I'm only like fighting with you because no one's calling me to like.
Well,
say
no,
anything.
hang on a second.
Yeah?
We got a call. We got a call. Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't want to talk to me.
No.
Okay, anyway, let's begin with the song. Now, I'm sure we'll all know this one, Unguarded Moment. And this is the song that made the church, that took them off. And that came from their Skins and Heart album. And that's the first song on the first album. Can't sing. Okay. And it's an unguarded moment. Okay, my God, it's so embarrassing. Okay, Sisters.
That's a beautiful song.
I can't. Can you sing?
Yeah.
Go, you know the song.
No.
Sorry. I'm doing singing classes as soon as possible. And okay, there's heaps of songs, but Sisters, which is the first song that the church did together, and yeah, which is amazing. It's very atmospheric and very pretty. And then Is This Where You Live, which is you know, they had dramas recording this one. They did backward guitar solo, whatever that means. I don't play an instrument myself. And this is the first time they used a vocoder, and I don't even know what that is. And Almost With You, which you know, Justin, because you've got that on vinyl.
Yes, but I don't have a record player.
Yeah. And that song is the definite sound of the church.
Definite.
With Peta doing
the infinitive
Spanish
sounds
guitar.
of the church.
Yep. Percussion noises, and Marty, who's Marty? Marty, the backing vocals and guitar, does jingle jangles. And then there's Fräulein, which sounds really interesting. It's really noisy, and they've never done anything like that since, and they should, because that rocked. It was really weird. And When You Were Mine, which is from their Blurred Crusade album. But if you're going to get any of the church, get Hindsight, because that's got everything on it. But that's basically it. Oh, and of course on side 2 you have Tantalize, which I have on 7-inch.
Do you?
Yeah, on 7-inch. So dumb. Now, who should listen to the church besides that awful woman who seduced that guy?
Who?
Good on her.
What are you talking about?
She knows where the real stuff's at.
Yeah.
Do you reckon? I hate that word. Okay. Yeah. So who should listen to it? The brooding teenager. I.e. black hair. He's dyed. He's bleached it blonde. Won't talk. You're always talking. And slightly suspicious. And extremely pale. Oh, my eyes. The idiot, which is me. Simply won't move with the times. And, you know, still think they're in the lost generation of the 80s. Who else listens to the church? The fashion victim of the 80s. You know, dyed black hair. Stop it! Tight black jeans that are ripped at the knees that need to be surgically removed. And still sporting one of those paisley shirts. The church. God bless you.
God bless. And amen. At the time of this new wave era, and before that with the punk and the disco era, along came a band that was recommended to us, which I haven't actually heard of before, by Ian. And Ian, thank you very much for calling us on 96982968, as we asked last week if anyone would like to have any recommendations for some bands, music, reviews, you know, anything at all, really.
Thanks for choosing something really good.
Something great, you know. I'm so glad you put it onto these guys.
Yeah, we just didn't know which one to choose.
That's right. So let's cut the chase and get straight to it. We're talking ABBA, baby. Yeah, ABBA sucks. No, I like it. I like it. I really like it, and I appreciate what they have done for the music industry.
Yeah, like they're shit.
Well, no, no. What?
No, like it's slang.
It's like it's like
it means the opposite.
Oh, that's mad. You know, like that's a good thing.
Yeah.
What did you say?
No.
It's
the shit.
Yeah, it is the
shit.
Exactly, and that is a good thing.
I promised my mum I wouldn't swear tonight.
Really?
Sorry, Mum.
Oh,
yeah.
But these guys, you know...
Zena, don't swear!
Zena, oh, God, I'd love to meet your mother.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, Mum.
Hi, Mummy. Hi to my... It doesn't matter, we'll talk about that later.
ABBA.
Yes. Bunch of losers, really. They
were rad.
No, they were
was
rad.
So
They are
excellent.
now-
I watched Muriel's wedding.
Oh, did you? Oh, well, okay. But yeah, they started out in 1973 and they...
But they didn't speak the English.
No, they didn't. It was not until later that they actually worked out what they were saying in their songs, and they were not surprisingly shocked as to the controversial lyrics, such as, well, I do.
That's disgusting.
That is disgusting, isn't it? Which was a great song. But in 1973, they entered the Eurovision contest representing Sweden, and they lost, which is fine. No. But in 1974, they prepared all year, and they put together a little ballad, a very upbeat disco ballad about Napoleon's defeat at the Battle of Waterloo. And, well, they won with that crushing defeat. And, yeah, they won. They went all the way through, and they released the single, Waterloo, which came in the top 10 on the US chart.
Waterloo.
Yeah.
Okay. That was really fun.
Oh God, I love Waterloo. No, I didn't particularly like it, and nor did the guys of this great compilation album, ABBA Gold. They did not include it, which is unusual. But they did include Fernando, which you all know. I believe, Ian, this is the CD that you recommended I get. I had to pay $30 for this.
You bastard!
You
Sorry.
bastard.
South Park.
No, I think it's great.
South Park.
I like to have a broad spectrum
This
of
is an
musical...
excellent song.
Yeah?
That they did. When I Kissed the Teacher, which is for Miss Fricker from
Wow.
Perth,
Yeah.
the drama teacher.
Yeah.
For that guy.
Did he have to pay for the,
He wore a licorice condom.
Is that true?
Yeah, and this old guy that washes the windows in my store came in today and he goes, if I was that kid, I wouldn't tell anyone.
Yeah,
I'd
as
be
if
there
you're
every
telling-
day with bells
The
on.
only person who would be telling is all my friends, yes. Oh,
Yeah.
God. I think it's something to be proud of. Great guy, you know. What was his name?
Idiot.
Ian, yeah. Oh, sorry, no, Ian's the guy who...
They won't say.
ABBA, yeah.
We'll find out.
I had a look through my parents' record collection. They're actually throwing this one away, ABBA Arrival. And, yeah, this was one of their... I think it was
they
their
weren't going to
first.
throw it, they were going to burn it.
They were going to burn it, yes. One of their first albums with a whole lot of classics, actually, such as Dancing Queen, which this is probably their best album. Dancing Queen, When I Kiss the Teacher, Money. Is that money? Yeah, yep. Fernando, and of course Arrival. So if you're going to get an album of ABBA, which I don't recommend you do go for ABBA Arrival. Actually, I have been a little cruel as to ABBA. I think they've really done some great things for the music industry. They've made it commercial, and that's a marvelous thing because now you can squash out all those little community bands and just make big money, big bucks. Speaking of big bucks, ABBA actually in 1977, I believe it was, made 1/3 of the entire imported currency into Sweden. Isn't that just spectacular? Big band and Swedish. Aren't our good friends Aqua from Sweden as well?
I hate Aqua.
Yeah.
Aqua suck.
Big money. Barbie doll, and they're in Sydney.
Aqua
at the moment.
suck Ken's balls.
Aqua's. Oh, God. She's a little cruel. Anyway, yep, that's ABBA. Thank you, Ian. Thank you very much. If you would...
Thank you, Ian!
Thanks, Ian, mate. No, really, and if you would like to send in your request for us to review, give us a call tonight.
This time it's my turn.
This time it's Zena's turn, so
be
make
really
it hard.
slack.
Make
Go
it
on.
really hard.
Yeah.
Please, hammer, don't hurt. What did he say?
Oh, sorry, we can't hear. Anyway, so
But-
I guess I'll just have to choose my own and
Give us a
God,
call
which-
tonight.
What should I do?
No.
Another 80s band.
80s band, yes, of course. 9698-2968. Give us a call, and we'll start
be
looking for
abusive.
your music tonight. And I quite enjoyed doing that, actually, because I would never have chosen ABBA. It's interesting learning a little bit about them. Very boring history,
Yeah, and call Jocelyn so he doesn't have to pay anymore.
Yeah, and send along the CDs.
That was a really good joke. Speaking of that,
Yeah.
there was this like kid who like 12 years old that like, you know, like that like called $5,000 worth of international 0055 numbers. In 3 days, and his parents spewed, and it was on the news, and I think that's really funny. 12 years old.
That's marvellous.
That's great.
But this has been a bit of music for this week. CDBeats.
That's because he was listening too much hip hop.
Very
shit.
seedy. ABBA is seedy, but now we've got something very interesting for you. The 40-hour famine, which is coming up. Here's
Which
a little
you can
video
eat
for you
all
to tantalise your famine buds. So get to it with the 40-hour famine. This has been CDBeats for WC.
I'm CD.
And I'm Beats YR. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Put your hand on your heart and count 4 beats. Go on, give it a try.
1, 2, 3, 4.
In the time that took, just 4 beats, somewhere in the world a child died. Each year, 30 million children die before their 5th birthday.
Imagine if these children were your family, your brother, your sister.
Would you reach out? Would you help? Well, here's the truth.
They are your brothers and sisters.
There's lots of ways we can help our brothers and sisters around the world.
But the best way to help is World Vision, because World Vision makes sure the money you raise gets out there where help is needed the most.
South Sudan is one of the poorest countries in the world, and since it got its independence in '56, it's really been in a state of civil war, and there was a short period of peace in sort of '72 to '83, but the war is ongoing to today.
It's the horror.
In Tonge County, for example, severe malnutrition was very big when we went there in 1993, and in 5 years we've been able to cap the malnutrition in that county, but also things like food security and agricultural practices that we've introduced, and seeing, like, for example, now the Dinka using ox ploughs, which before they would never have even touched, you know, it's a cultural taboo. Young people in Australia can do the famine and raise money for World Vision. That's very important, and we can't do our project without that.
World Vision's 40-hour famine is here to help you help children in deep trouble right now in Liberia, Zaire, Sierra Leone, Sudan, Belarus, and Cambodia.
How do you think it feels to save a life?
There's just no words to describe it.
I did the 40-hour famine because I thought I could make a difference, that I'm not just one person. If everybody works together, that's how you change the world. A little boy that touched me was in Cebu, and he was only 3 or 4. He just wouldn't smile. And I gave him stickers, I smiled at him, I played with him, he wouldn't smile. It's like he had a past, he had an experience that he shouldn't have experienced.
I did the 40-hour famine because I knew that I had so much more than the people that I saw on the television.
I've done the 40-hour famine previously because I really think that as part of the global community we have a responsibility to those people who are less fortunate than ourselves, because face it, when we think of it, we have so much.
You and me will never experience real hunger, real poverty, real fear. That doesn't make us better than others, just fortunate.
But we wanted to see for real the problems our brothers and sisters in other countries are facing.
So we went to India, and man, we saw some sights there.
You think you see a lot on TV, but man, there's some things TV never shows you.
This is one of the World Vision sites, a school for the deaf. With the help of sponsorship, it's amazing what these kids can do. These children have a 100% pass rate in this school. These kids are from all around India. World Vision is changing their lives like from night to day. With food, health and education, so the children have the chance to break the poverty cycle.
Even if their parents can't.
See how it feels, do something real, Save the life of another.
They say with TV and communication, the world's getting smaller, right?
Then isn't that bringing us all closer together?
And doesn't that mean we have to start looking out for one another? Who's just going to walk away after this?
What you can do is get one of these babies, a famine pack from your famine organiser.
Then, and this is the secret of ultimate success, get yourself as many sponsors as you can. Ask people to sponsor you, challenge them even. Bet them that you can't do it, whatever it takes. Ask everyone you know to sponsor you, because most are only a phone call away. Sponsors are the key, because how much can you donate? $1, $2, $5, $20 even?
Well, with lots of sponsors, you can turn that into 50, 100, 500, or even $1,000.
And it's easy to collect the money from your sponsors when you sign them up, because then you don't have to chase them later.
So join the World Vision 40-hour famine. Go for as many sponsors as you can.
Then June 12 to 14, you miss a few meals. No pizza.
Maybe no TV.
Then you can collect any outstanding money from your sponsors, and if they need a little persuasion, maybe someone can come and help you collect.
Here, I'll give you the money. Take the money! You go! Ah!
Then you bank the money. And you get a 40-hour famine I made it card. Yeah, I made it. Free with offers, goodies, and everything from Pizza Hut, Civic Video, Time Zone, Intensity, TV Hits, and Girlfriend.
But wait, there's more. Secondary students could win an overseas trip courtesy of Qantas to see World Vision's life-saving work firsthand.
The feeling doesn't stop.
It goes on
and on
and on
and on.
Yeah, you're helping underprivileged people, and it's only for 2 days, and they do it for like a whole month. It's only 40 hours of your life.
And then you'll see how it feels.
The best feeling in the world. Get out and do it.
Best feeling. Great. Do it. Ace.
And then you'll see how it feels.
We hard, but we did it! Absolutely the best feeling in the world.
And then you'll see how it feels.
Excellent. It was tremendous. It was the best thing I've ever done.
Fantastic.
This makes you feel good.
And then you'll see how it feels. To save a life, who's going to walk away after this?
Join the 40-hour famine. Phone 13 32 40 now.
And then you'll see how it feels to save a life. Who's going to walk away after this?
It's going to be wild, man. Wild.
A big applause for a big show.
Good to see.
A big show. The show that stops traffic.
What show's that, Russ?
The week that was. We're back again with some stories that have taken us all over the world.
As per usual?
As per usual.
Jet-setting show.
Jet-setting show, indeed. Anyway, visiting pop star Elton John has been so concerned by the lack of communication between himself and, what can we describe this man as? Mr.
Australia's
Music?
pop guru?
Australia's pop guru.
Australia's oldest teenager?
Or so he thinks. Molly Meldrum. Apparently, they haven't... apparently Elton rang Molly to see if the two were still on speaking terms. He was that concerned about the whole thing. And Molly replied with that he's been too busy chasing. He says chasing. He says chasing Oasis and U2 and Pearl Jam and all that.
No
around,
time
so
for Elton.
He's been too busy for him, but he says he's going to meet up with him in Melbourne. So
Oh, that's good of Molly.
big news. And what other story could you start the show off
He's
with?
such an important Australian
He's
identity.
he's right up there with Ian Turpie and
Barry Crocker.
Billy Fields. Bad habits.
Billy Fields, my goodness.
He'll be coming up a little bit later
Where
on
did
the
you
show.
pull him from?
Jason Donovan apparently in the news. Erin.
Half-case Jace.
Half-case
He's
Jace.
been collapsing again. Has he been collapsing
No, he hasn't
again?
been collapsing.
What's
He
been
actually
doing?
got a job.
Has what?
He's got a job. He's playing Frankenfurter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Is that like the Canterbury Boys High School
No,
production
it's
of Rocky
in.
Horror?
Don't worry, everybody. It's in the UK, so you won't
Oh.
have to see him at all.
Thank
it's
God
on
for that.
Apparently signed a 10-month deal.
Is there any clause in there about him collapsing or
I think he has to
doing
collapse
drugs?
once a week.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
And he
yeah,
can
so
only shoot up after the production.
after the production. Indeed, huge news, local news, in fact, about about one of South Sydney's most well-known locals, if I could put it in such a great way, Burt Reynolds.
Absolutely.
Apparently, he's become quite a fan of the South Sydney Rabbitohs. He's been working with Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe went to Sydney High, didn't he?
Russell Crowe, yes, he was
Yep.
an old boy of Sydney High,
Yep.
close personal friend of mine. We were
Yep.
in the same year
That's
at high
right.
school.
Yeah, and he's
not a bad
huge,
guy.
Huge South Sydney
Yep,
fan.
Always went for the Rabbits.
And he apparently is working on a new film with Burt called Mystery Alaska.
Yep, sounds
And
good.
Yeah, it sounds bombish to me. But yeah, he's been working on this film, and apparently he's been showing some tapes to Burt.
Some tapes?
Some
What
tapes.
kind
some,
of tapes?
Well, some footy tapes
Oh,
with the
okay.
Rabbits on, and apparently Souths have thrown a few jumpers over to a few jerseys over to the fellas. One with Reynolds on the back and one
Oh.
with Crowe on the back. So
I bet they're excited
and
about that.
Burt's coming out here pretty soon as well.
What
so-
for? To play?
No, he's not going to play. Well, he might
What
get
about
around
his
with it.
wig? What
I
happened
don't
if he
know
was on
what's
the
going to
field
happen
with
with
that
the wig.
wig?
There's some wig fan. Ray Martin's a fan of the Rabbits as well. A bit of a celebrity
Is he?
following. Yeah.
Ray?
Yeah, he's always been a
I
fan.
think that's a load of cobblers.
You know the guy that says, "Thanks for joining us."
Oh, that guy, yes.
See you at 6:30.
I don't think he goes for Souths.
He does.
I don't think he knows what rugby league is.
But you're pretty close to the pulse of the Australian film
Oh,
industry.
I've got my finger right on the pulse.
What's been happening? One of the biggest names.
In the film industry.
I'm being serious here.
Oh, you're being serious?
Yahoo.
What's this?
Serious.
Oh, yes, Yahoo Serious. Of course, the creator of perhaps one of the, well, two of the best films that Australia has ever produced are Young Einstein, A Laugh a Minute, and Reckless Kelly, which managed to even supersede Yahoo, the first film. It was even better. Apparently, he's negotiating a deal to make a new film.
Yeah.
Some
And he's
idiot's
giving
going to
it
give him some
all-
money.
It's MGM. He's hassling MGM for some money.
The big guns.
The big guns.
Oh.
They want to make a bomb.
At least it's not. Oh, they're desperate.
Sorry, Yahoo, but it's not going to work. You're wasting your time.
Stallone was unavailable, so they went straight
I
to
think
Serious.
maybe we might even see a sequel to Stop on My Mum Will Shoot.
Starring Yahoo.
Serious, yep, and Sylvester Stallone playing the
What
mother
about
this time.
Estelle Getty?
No, is she still with us?
Well, it just won't work if Estelle's
We better
not in
leave
it.
that one right there. We're insulting too many of our friends. Sorry,
No,
Sly,
she's-
if you're watching.
She's still around.
I'm sure he is.
Oh.
He's got a special cable hookup in his Hollywood mansion. Anyway, Oxford University scientist Ken Lomax has devised a device called the Voice Morpher, and apparently it's going to transform the average karaoke parlour /RSL /Lees Club into an absolute frenzy of celebrities and whatnot.
Oh, what's
apparently it
doing?
can transform your voice. And he's devised his first big name that he's come up with is Elvis Presley. So you can sing into the mic, and it has the same timbre and pitch, music talk, timbre
As
and
the
pitch
king.
as the king himself.
Why didn't they do it with Jason Donovan first?
Well, they're working on a few. We've got a
He
few
can
others
sing
here. They've
like a
got
trooper.
They're working on Tom Jones, Billy Fields, and Ian Turpie.
Billy Fields.
Yes, Ian Turpie, the man on the back of my shirt.
Ken.
He is actually. I won't do it right now.
Don't do it.
We'll finish.
He
that
doesn't.
later.
He doesn't need the.
No. And you've got
exposure.
a medical story for us.
Medical story. Yeah, this is a big story that come through to us from our medical reporter, Dr. Karen Phelps, who actually informed us of an operation that went on during the week, which involved a woman having 5 metal pins removed from her head, which she did this without the aid of anaesthetic, but only using hypnosis. Martin St. James was in the operating room with a stopwatch. He put her out while she had 2 legs amputated and 5 metal pins removed from her head, and she didn't feel a thing.
Incredible stuff.
It'll be on All Saints next week.
Oh, for sure. Can't wait for that.
Based on a true story.
based on a true story. Is it? Incredible stuff. Well,
fantastic.
Apparently, a Taiwanese UFO cult expecting God is expecting
what?
God to a Taiwanese UFO cult. They're expecting God to descend on Garland, Texas, and apparently he's going to.
What's he going to do?
Well, he's going to appear on television. And
what channel?
It doesn't matter if you don't have your television tuned into. Well, I'll get to that. Just settle down. I know you're excited. Everybody was when they heard this. Apparently, you don't even have to bother tuning your TV in. God will do it for you, and he's just going to turn up. But they do advise that they want your channel. They want you to put it on channel 18 to help him out. That's a religious channel in Texas. You put it on there, and apparently God is going to. He's going to come on around about 10 a.m.
It's a bit early.
Late March. Yep. And apparently he's going to come in the form of the cult's leader. So I knew that.
That's cheating.
I've got his name
God
here somewhere.
comes on TV every morning in the
Chen
shape of
Honming, who claims to be a direct descendant. He's like, I suppose we all are, but he's God.
Is
Like
this
God's
a true
touched him.
story?
It's true.
Is this for real?
Yeah, apparently it says he'll walk through walls and do all these tricks for everybody. So.
David Copperfield.
David Copperfield, I told you. I think David Copperfield's
He's
between
God.
you and me. Son of God. Another medical breakthrough from our team at crack team of scientists to rival those at the Pons Institute.
This story. They've come the Pons Institute. Well, these guys have told us that children with longer legs have less chance of suffering heart disease, but a greater chance of contracting cancer.
Wasn't that interesting?
There's something in that for all of us.
I'm being told by our floor manager at the moment that we have a late breaking story.
A late breaking story.
A late breaking segment.
What's the source?
An infotainment segment. Apparently, our good friend Lewis. That's right, Lewis. Is the camera ready for Lewis? He's got some news that may happen or it may not happen. But it's from one of our
late item.
One of our reporters. I don't know who brought us the story. Lewis is going to tell you the rest anyway, and we might chime in somewhere.
Oh, superb.
Okay, so Lewis, thanks very much. What's the news?
Yeah, that's correct. A source, our source, as you would
know. No names.
Sorry, yeah, quite right. We couldn't get confirmation on this story, but apparently there's a pilot episode of Celebrity Supermarket Sweep.
Ooh.
And it's
sounds big.
It's going to appear later this month, and it's rumoured to be hosted by TV personality none other than the man himself, Ernie Sigley.
Oh,
yep.
What about Ding Dong?
Who's currently he's currently holidaying in Bali and could not be contacted. The original host and innovator of Supermarket Sweep, Mr. Ian Turpie, in a recent interview applauded the new concept, saying that
of course he would,
as if.
Though the old show at the time was very avant-garde, this new idea makes the old look pedestrian by comparison. He said he looks forward to hours of pleasure watching our old mate Ernie's work. The new show is said to air in the 3 to 4 p.m. time slot.
An important slot.
Yeah. Absolutely. Terps was also very excited about the return of 70s singing legend and international playboy Billy Fields, who is booked into a permanent Saturday-Sunday afternoon gig at the Cronulla Sharks Leagues Club. Mr. Fields,
Sydney's Las Vegas.
Now the prosperous owner of 5 laundromats in the Cronulla Sutherland area, said the Shire has been very kind to me over the years, so I see this current venture as repaying a debt to the young and old fans alike. Billy will perform the old classics such as Bad Habits. And Saturdays Too Far Away.
Bad Habits.
Take it away, Russ.
No, it's all right.
How much are tickets?
Back to the news, as well as new material from his current album, Cool, Calm and Collected.
New album.
You guys would know all about that, you cool cats.
Great stuff.
Which features a number of duets with Renee Geyer and Jane Ann Scarley.
Oh, Jane Scarley. Coming up in Greece with Danny Minogue.
None other. Billy will also appear on In Melbourne Tonight with old sparring partners Frankie Holden and Denise Drysdale.
Dingers.
Which is sure to provide memorable TV viewing.
Oh, hours of laughter.
Whilst in Melbourne, the long-awaited return of television legend...
Quite an in-depth segment, isn't it? Yeah, go on.
It is. Graham Kennedy is said to be only moments away. The return.
Is he just outside the
return
studio?
Of Graham Kennedy is returning to.
He's gone.
Where's he returning to?
It's too much for him, the pressure.
Is John Mango's back?
I'm just overwhelmed by these stories. That's what it is, guys.
They're pretty full.
Just go on for the...
He will supposedly co-host a new infotainment show entitled Graham and Bert, with old IM2 colleague and close friend Bert Newton. It will also feature a cameo appearance of Yorkshire's finest Mr. Ugly Dave Gray. Bert in a recent
of his name.
Bert in a recent press conference spoke of the new project and that I'd spoken to Nora Kennedy on the phone, and she said that Graham hasn't left the house in 3 years. So I'm hoping this show will, which promises so much, will put Graham back where he belongs, on the television. Insiders say, that's right. Insiders say the test audiences have indicated that the show will be a surefire hit in the 50s plus age bracket. Closer to home, and
what about the kids?
I'll watch it. I'm not kidding.
Closer to home, and international celebrity Mimic McPherson will star in an episode of the critically acclaimed Water Rats. Mimi plays a dolphin trainer whose highly trained sea mammals have the ability to detect, locate, and defuse a nuclear device underwater.
That is going to be huge.
Well, that's right. The show promises to be one of the highest rating in Water Rats history.
That is going to be absolutely monstrous.
I think so. It's
Thrilsy's just going to be crazy.
I think it's the Australian way of competing with like Chicago Hope and the ER live version and all that. It's going to be up there with that, isn't it?
Nuclear
It'd have
device
to be.
detecting,
it's going to be big.
Dolphins. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It's going to blow them all out of the water.
We better go. We better go, but we'd actually like a bit of feedback, because we had a few problems. I've got a runny nose too. We had a few problems with our switchboards last week. Apparently there were so many calls.
They were overloaded.
The week that was switchboards got jammed up, so we were asking you to what's the phone number here? We're going to get the phone number in just a few moments. We need you to ring up and just be patient, because there are a lot of people trying to ring this number at the moment. So just, it's 698-2968. That number again, is that able to... No?
No.
No, don't worry about it. Just ring it up if you want to. You've got nothing else to
What's
do.
the number again, Russ?
9698-2968.
We forgot Alan Jones.
Oh, we'll get back to him next week.
Absolutely.
Okay. The telephone number at CTV is 9698-2968.
When is the state
government... When is the state government going to realise we need... When are they going to realise we need shorter telephone numbers? It's absurd, Mr. Carr. That's it. We're going. We're out of here. Bye.
Hi, welcome to What's On for this week. I'm Zena, and now this is going to be a very, very quiet weekend. Shh, we're all sleepy and tired, because all you wastoids out there are going to be saving your whatever cells you've got left in your brains and your money and energy for Easter, because then there'll be lots of and doof parties. But this weekend, it's going to be very quiet. Tomorrow night, you have Ritual for all you dark, deathly freaks. Yes, you have Gothic Dark Wave, Electronic Dark Beat for $7 at Surrey Hills. And you've got DJ Voodoo, Brandy and Montage, or Montag. Yeah, and that's $7. Woo, just quiet, you know. But otherwise, you know, go and check out the Sydney band scene, you know, Australian bands. That's all I ever say, bands. Anyway, go to the Annandale, see fur, hot, cheeky babes playing like with weird keyboards and stuff like that, not your traditional rock and roll. And of course you have Nunchuck Superfly and Skulker, some other hot chicks. Yeah, at the Annandale on Parramatta Road. But otherwise, Tuesday nights you have Memory Loss. Where are you? And if you can't remember where that is, that's at the Lansdowne Hotel on Parramatta Road. Tonight, at the Iron Duke, they've got Doof versus DJs versus Punk and the rest of them. But tomorrow night, you have Damage and other, like, freaked out hardcore bands. But, like, check that out. Isn't that pretty? Pretty, like, sexy.
But yeah, just like chill out, because I just want you to go see some bands and stuff, and wait for Easter, and that's when the real shit's gonna happen. See you next week. And now we've got Erin with Film Forum. Go, Erin!
Thank you. Hello and welcome to Film Forum for another week. I've got 3 movies to talk about tonight. Unfortunately, nothing fantastic, nothing great this week. Most of the stuff I've seen has been very much middle of the road type stuff, so nothing to really get excited about, which is a bit unfortunate. The new film I saw this week, it just started yesterday, is a movie called The Myth of Fingerprints. Strange title, which is never actually explained in the film, is never alluded to and never mentioned, which is one of the film's quite a few problems, one of the many problems of this film. It's from a director called Bart Freundlich, a young guy. This is his first movie. Apparently it was quite well received at the Sundance Film Festival in America, and as a result of that has been picked up and distributed throughout the world. It's a very low-key film, very short film as well, running only about perhaps even under 90 minutes without credits, and is the story of a family coming together on Thanksgiving. Why this family gets together, you would never know. None of them seem to like each other. They don't enjoy each other's company. All they do is give each other grief and cause a lot of trouble for each other. So why they get together is a huge mystery, but they do, and this is all the film really is, just charting these characters' interactions and what they do and what happens and all the rest of it. Nothing new here. Familiar material handled in a not very exciting way. It is a watchable film. It does get your attention. It has a good cast. People involved: Roy Scheider, Blythe Danner, Julianne Moore, Noah Wiley from ER. So there's some good people involved, good acting. But if the story carried right through to the end, its exploration of these characters, I think it opens a few doors without really going right into the characters and letting you know what they're all about. And it finishes too abruptly. It doesn't give you a satisfying ending. It's all a little too subtle and not well investigated enough. So The Myth of Fingerprints is not bad, but a little bit of a disappointment. A film that could have been a lot better, I think, if they had have perhaps added about another 20 minutes of screen time. It would have allowed for a lot more in-depth investigation of the characters and their motivations and what happens to them. So a strange case of a film that should have actually been longer than it is, which doesn't happen very often. So The Myth of Fingerprints, from me, gets... what would I give this film? I'd give this film about $8.50, I think. It's good. It has its merits, but it has too many flaws to really get much higher than that. So The Myth of Fingerprints is in a limited engagement at the Pitt Centre. I think is only screening for 2 weeks. So if you do want to see it, make it snappy. But it's not that great, so don't rush. Another film which isn't that great is The Matchmaker. Actually, this is quite a good film, quite a charming film. Directed by Mark Joffe, an Australian film director who made, I think probably his best known film in Australia would be Spotswood, a great movie he made with Anthony Hopkins. He's gone to America, or rather Ireland in this case, to make a film about a young woman played by Janine Garofalo, a great actress and comedian who I like very, very much. She's been in films like Reality Bites and Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion, appears on the Larry Sanders Show on TV. She's very funny, great actress. She plays a member of a political campaign for a senator who is vying to be president in America, and in order to beef up his image and get the Irish vote, it's up to her to go to Ireland and trace his family roots, trying to play up the Kennedy type image of this guy, so he'll bring in the votes. She goes to Ireland, lands in a small town where his family are allegedly from, and winds up in the middle of a matchmaking festival. So she's trying to trace his family roots, she's getting caught up in the matchmaking festival. There's a bit of romance, a few laughs, a bit of political skullduggery, but it's all a little bit too lukewarm to really push things over the edge. All the charm that this film has really emanates from Janine Garofalo, and the rest of the cast. They're all very good and very charming. But again, it's a film that's just too low-key and doesn't do enough interesting things in an interesting enough way to really matter. So it's a pleasant enough experience. enjoyable, but just nothing special. So out of $12.50, I would give The Matchmaker the same as The Myth of Fingerprints. I'd give this $8.50. Again, enjoyable, but nothing to write home about. If you're a fan of Janine Garofalo's, go and see it though, because you will enjoy her. She's fantastic. So $8.50 for that. Another film which was not very interesting was a movie which started last week, like The Matchmaker did, called The Replacement Killers, which is the first film of a guy called Antoine Fuqua, who is best known for making Coolio's video Gangster's Paradise. So I was so excited about seeing what he would do for his first feature that I just beat my way to the cinema to see The Replacement Killers, which is the first American film of Chow Yun-fat, who is apparently a big star in Hong Kong, and he's appeared in John Woo films like A Better Tomorrow and A Better Tomorrow 2, and I think A Better Tomorrow 3, and something else as well. And everyone thinks he's fantastic and that Hong Kong cinema is the best thing since sliced bread. Personally, I think it's a bit of a drag. So The Replacement Killers, you know, the only thing that got me excited about The Replacement Killers was the fact that Mira Sorvino was in it, who I like very much. But she obviously doesn't have a very good agent, because ever since she won an Oscar for Mighty Aphrodite, she's been appearing in pretty bad genre films. I thought she would have capitalised on her Oscar a bit better than this. This is basically just a rip-off of Hong Kong cinema, but it's set in America. It's about a hitman who teams up with Mira Sorvino, and he gets chased around a lot, and there's a gunfight every 5 minutes. And it's all a bit boring, really. It's all very slick and very well made and very entertaining, but the sooner Hollywood producers realise that the first thing you need to make a good film is at least a half-decent script, I think you're going to see a lot better films coming out of Hollywood. I think this script seemed like it was probably written by a 12-year-old or something. It's pretty bad. Hollow, no depth, no interest. So if the only thing you like about movies is pyrotechnics and stunts and gunfights, which there's nothing wrong with, I really like that in movies, but when it's backed up with a bit of character and a bit of interest, for instance in films like Face Off or Die Hard or the Terminator films, it's wonderful. But when that's all there is, it doesn't really make for a very pleasurable film experience. So The Replacement Killers, from me, gets $7. It's yeah, it's not very good. But if you like Mira Sorvino, get Mighty Aphrodite out again. Don't bother going to the movies to see this one. So $7 for The Replacement Killer. So sorry tonight, not very interesting movies to talk about. But hopefully next week there'll be some better ones. And I'll remind you once again that if you like film, you like Filmink, the magazine, which tells you everything you need to know about what's happening in the world of cinema, is out with Matt Damon on the front from That's a Film. If you're looking for something to see, check out Good Will Hunting. That's a fantastic film. I spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. Don't see The Replacement Killers or the other films I talked about tonight. Go and see Jackie Brown. Go and see Good Will Hunting, or go and see The Ice Storm if it's still on. Yep, go and see that. It's a great film. So hopefully...
How do you see the Oscars going?
What?
Quick rundown on the Oscars.
Oh, look, I don't care about the Oscars. It's all a big corporate toss, and Titanic's just going to win everything. So, you know, I won't be talking about the Oscars next week.
Oscars belong in the trash can.
Yes, yes. Well, maybe not, but I mean, you know, I think the Oscars get enough publicity without a cutting edge.
Doesn't mean as much as a Logie.
Exactly, exactly. If it was the Logies next week, I'd be doing a 4-hour special on it. But the Oscars, you know, it's on the cover of Who Weekly. It doesn't belong on a hardcore, cutting-edge segment like Film Forum. So, and next week, I'm sure you will all have known who won the Oscar anyway. So I won't talk about it next week, and I'm not talking about it now, despite the pressure that's been applied. I refuse to talk about the Oscars. All I'll say is that Mark Wahlberg should have got a nomination for Best Actor for Boogie Nights. Diggler. That's right. Best Prosthetic. It should be a new award. So when he didn't get nominated and Dustin Hoffman did for Wag the Dog, I'd had enough. So the Oscars will be spoken about no more on this segment. So too bad, you Hollywood fat cats. But I'll be back next week, hopefully with some films that are a bit more interesting and a bit more exciting than the ones I spoke about tonight. So stay tuned, and I'll have some better movies for you next week.
Hi. This has been a wonderful show, and we are coming to a close. And I've got a few people for you now who are going to help me close this show and hello, and put the lock on and turn the key and throw it away until next week. I do hope they actually find the key though. Come over this way. These guys aren't actually ready yet, but doesn't matter. Come on. This is behind the scenes, okay? Because that's what we are over here at WCYR.
We're behind the scenes.
We are behind the scenes, and we like it, don't we, Zena?
Hello.
Hello.
Love it.
Hi, Jazz.
And Rusty Russ.
We love it.
And
How
can we
are
all
you?
fit on this couch?
I think we can.
Ah.
Lewis, move in.
Lewis, mate, get over there. All right. Okay, there we go. We're
Comfortable
feeling
couch.
nice and cosy.
Yes, we are.
Yes,
very,
we are.
Very.
Wasn't it like
Which camera? Oh, there we are.
a
Over there.
rad
Sorry.
show?
It was a crazy show.
It was a crazy
Great
show.
I was very impressed.
I think next time we should put Zena in the middle there.
Okay.
No thanks.
Because we seem to get this rift across
Yeah,
here.
I know.
Did you notice that last
You
week?
guys are like anti.
We'll work on
We're
that.
not anti.
We'll work
I
on
don't
that
know
at
what
the
you're
production
talking
meeting.
about. Rust.
Something
They're
to think about
alternative.
next
I
production
think
meeting.
so.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't think they know what they're talking about, really.
Well, this is true. We don't know what we're talking about,
No,
but
you
you
know
know
the
what
shot,
we're
I don't
talking
know.
about for next week.
Yeah.
Or what is on.
What have we got?
Film Forum! Go with it, Russ. Go with it,
The
man.
week that was.
Yeah.
That's my best bad boy.
With CDBeats.
CDBeats.
And Vegans for Christ.
Synthesizer.
Yeah.
I thought we needed it.
Yeah.
It sounds like a mosquito, doesn't it?
Ah, the sports show. Oh my God.
That's annoying.
We're trying, aren't we?
We're trying to entertain. Keep going. What are we talking about?
The sports show.
Yeah.
Odds
And book
ends. Yeah, with Don. He was sick this week.
Yep.
Poor guy.
That's the way it
feeling
goes.
sorry.
And
We still got
Queer
five.
Nation.
Queer Nation.
Queer Nation. And what else, Mr. Lewis?
Yeah, we got a
My
retrospective.
hair's greasy, mate.
Designer Diner.
I got this new wax in it.
Designer Diner. Curb.
Everybody's
Curb.
wearing.
Curb is back.
Really?
The
Apparently.
beats on the
In your dreams.
I don't know.
Olive oil.
Something like
Curb from
olive
the
oil.
back
Extra virgin.
street.
Yes.
Yes, extra virgin.
And
green
I
olive
think
oil.
they're
When
they're
in
like
Redfern, cast and crew choose to stay at where do we choose to stay at? The Grosvenor.
The Grosvenor Hotel.
No, or 192
Catch
Everly
us there
Street.
from
Calm
11
down.
and
11 p.m. onwards. Grosvenor Hotel, corner of Phillip and
What's your
Moorhead
favourite
Street.
meal?
then we have
Oh,
Red.
it'd have to be the
Red the
wedgies,
show?
mate. No, not the wedgies.
Sorry.
All right, we have Went with lots of wedgies from the internet. Yes. And well, that's the show next week. And
Certainly is.
this was
Certainly was.
Wisdom.
Chambers.
Youth
review. Thank you.
for you.
Bye. See you
Goodbye.
next week. Yeah, baby. I love you guys.
There we go. That was fantastic.